really like the students. It's like a good feeling. It's a company. We work a lot in groups, and it's relaxed. You can talk quite nice to all the professors. Yeah, it's nice to sit outside here in the summer, and of course it depends of the professor, but in general I think they are quite helpful. Here we have a really good faculty, and like for example, before you start the first semester, there's one whole newbie week, like where all the new first semesters are collected, and some older people like showing you around here in the university. They make small groups. They have a rally here, so you can learn. You learn about the university, and then like basically every professor encourages you to make some friends and make a group, because in the first semester of mathematics and physics both, it's necessary, it's mandatory to make some like homework, like home sheets every week, and you're allowed typically to hand them in a group of 2 or 3. So everybody says, okay, don't do it alone. Search for friends, and so everybody in the first semester is searching for friends, and then it's easy. And in physics, you have to do a lot of experimental work in the university, and then you always have to write some thesis. You have to write down your results. I think that's quite helpful. It depends. Like you can't really split it in undergraduate courses and graduate courses. Like I'm still in the bachelor's, yes, but I also hear a lot, which you can hear in the master, and then they're typically in English. So I would say at the moment it's maybe half-half. But in the masters, if there's one student who can't speak English, who can't speak German, then it must be in English. And in my experience, it's true. Like all the professors are quite well in English, and they are fine with giving the lectures in English. In the bachelor's, like if you come here for the bachelor, especially the first courses, like for first, second, third semester, then they are typically in German. Now in physics and mathematics, like you have to get the German's Abitur, like something similar.
My parents are from Turkey, but my grandpa grandpa came here to work, and then my parents stayed here and married here, and so I born here, but usually my parents are from Turkey. I think the basics are good to know when you come here, because I think the basics are really, you need the basics to speak, of course, but I think in Germany you can also get to know with people only with English. Of course, there are some people who can't speak English, but most of them I think can and understand a lot of English. So especially the young generation speaks really well English in Germany. It is really helpful. I think it is then really needed especially when you want a job or when you write a VC. I think that is really important when you know, like, of course, more than the basics, and can speak a bit, can tell about yourself a bit. And I think as a part-time job can be difficult, but I think it is like where you want to work. For example, when you work as a cashier, of course, you need German really, so I think it is really hard. But when you just work like in logistics or something, then I think it is really easy, and it is okay when you only speak their English. The structure is like that. We have like lessons, and we have like practical lessons. So sometimes I'm in the kitchen, and sometimes I have normal lessons, and I like it because you just work with your hands and also just learn what you're doing. But on the other hand, I think it is more important to learn more like how the chemical things work, and how people, for example, make the food, and what is important, what not. That is really difficult because in Germany most flats are really pricey. like Germany is not like cheap. And so when you really want to stay in Germany and really want to live here, you have to come with a bit of money, of course, and it is important that you find quick a job, because when you can't, then you can't stay so long here. There are some internet websites where you can search for part-time jobs for students only with English and with a bit German. You can mostly do that like on the website from like Arbeitsamt. Mostly there you can find a bit a part-time jobs for students.
So we had only school and of course practicas. Heißt practicas auch in English? Internships like this, but only in the 9th or 10th the class. I went to Berufsschule for 1 year. After that, I just didn't know what I want to do. So I worked just because it's better to work than just sit at home. I don't really know. The 1 year gap.
The thing is, mostly Germans do that, the 1 year gap, but in like when you have like your lifeline and you have to send it with your VC, it's better when you don't have this gap, because it doesn't seem professional for like the most jobs, of course. When you have like a gap in a year or two, it seems like you don't want it to work, or you don't like to working or something. That's why the most jobs, it's not a good reputation of you, of course, then.
Well, it depends where you want to work. If you want to work in a store, I don't think it's that difficult, because they need people. But if you want to do something different, where you need, of course, education, then yes, it's difficult. Well, it depends of what type of character you have. It's if you're extroverted or introverted, this is that. I think if you like to hang out with people, it's very easy for you. You can go to a bar or to a party and find easily someone new and friends. But if you don't like it, or you're like afraid or something like that, shy, yes, then it can be difficult, I think. But you can try, of course, you can find one friend, and then maybe find or be friends with his friends and so on.
We're having different classes about different topics. For example, experimental physics, or just analysis, math, and things like that. And yes, we can basically just decide when we want to go to the class and what we want to do at home, so we can just sit at home and do some stuff online, or we can come here and listen to the teachers. And yes, there are actually quite a few things I dislike. For example, the plan what you're learning is very limited, and it's just a plan. Basically, you get to know what you have to learn, and they don't really care about what's important for your life later. So you don't learn about laws or some or how to handle money. So you don't really know what to do when you're out of school. You just obviously also important things like math or science, but I think it's way more important to learn about life, how to buy a house, for example. Yes.